Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
As I sit in my frilly pink maid's uniform, with a lace apron tied around my waist and a matching headband adorning my head, I can't help but reflect on how I ended up in this position. It was certainly not something I ever expected when I first set out on my journey to adulthood. Growing up, I was always known as the tough guy among my peers. I was a star athlete, excelling in both football and basketball, and I never shied away from a challenge. I prided myself on my masculinity and saw it as a defining characteristic of who I was. But everything changed when I met my girlfriend, Sarah. She was the complete opposite of me, soft-spoken, delicate and stunningly beautiful. I was immediately drawn to her, and before I knew it, we were in a serious relationship. Things were going great, and I was convinced that I had finally found the one. Until one day, Sarah dropped a bombshell. She had a secret fantasy that she had been too embarrassed to share with anyone else, but she felt comfortable enough to confide in me. She told me that she had always dreamed of having a sissy maid, a submissive man who would dress in women's clothing and serve her every need. I was taken aback by this revelation, and my initial reaction was one of horror and disgust. I couldn't understand why someone as confident and strong as Sarah would want me to degrade myself in such a way. But as I looked into her pleading eyes, I couldn't bring myself to say no. I loved her, and I wanted to make her happy, even if it meant stepping out of my comfort zone. And so, my journey to becoming a sissy maid began. The first step was to undergo a complete wardrobe transformation. Sarah took me shopping, and we spent hours trying on different outfits. At first, I was hesitant and self-conscious, but as I saw the joy on her face every time I slipped into a skirt or a pair of heels, my reservations slowly started to fade away. Next was the hair and makeup. Sarah insisted that I grow out my hair, and she would style it in a feminine way. She also taught me how to apply makeup, and soon I was an expert at contouring and highlighting. With each passing day, I could feel myself becoming more and more like a sissy maid. But the most challenging aspect of my transformation was learning how to behave as a submissive. As someone who had always been in control, it was challenging to let go and allow Sarah to take the lead. She set strict rules for me, and if I failed to follow them, there would be consequences. I had to address her as mistress at all times, and I was not allowed to speak unless spoken to. I also had to perform household chores while dressed in my maid's uniform, which included tasks like cooking, cleaning, and even washing her lingerie. It was a humbling experience, but at the same time, it was liberating. For the first time in my life, I didn't have to be the one making all the decisions. I could just let go and be taken care of by someone else. As my transformation progressed, Sarah introduced me to other aspects of the sissy maid lifestyle. She took me to a maid training academy where I learned proper curtsies, walking in heels, and serving etiquette. She also introduced me to other sissy maids, and we would attend social events where we would serve drinks and snacks while dressed in our uniforms. I never imagined that I would enjoy these activities as much as I did. I found a sense of fulfillment in serving others, and I relished in the pride that Sarah took in my transformation. It became apparent to me that this was not just a fantasy for her, but a lifestyle that she had always craved. As I delved deeper into my new persona, I started to question my previous beliefs about masculinity. I realized that there was no one definition of being a man, each person had their own interpretation. And for me, being a sissy maid was an expression of my love for Sarah and my willingness to embrace all aspects of my personality. But it wasn't just Sarah who accepted me for who I was becoming. My friends and family were initially shocked by my transformation, but as they saw how genuinely happy I was, they started to show their support. Some even admitted that they had their own secret desires and admired my courage to live out my fantasies. As for Sarah and me, our relationship became stronger than ever before. Now that we had opened up about our deepest desires, there was a level of trust and intimacy between us that I never thought possible. We shared a bond that no one else could understand, and it brought us even closer together. Today, I proudly call myself a Sissy Maid, and I have no regrets about the path that has led me here. I have learned so much about myself, and I have grown in ways that I never could have imagined. And most importantly, I have found a love that is based on acceptance and understanding, something that I never thought was possible. As I finish up my duties for the day and kneel before Sarah, waiting for her approval, I can't help but smile. This is my place, as a Sissy Maid, serving my mistress, and being completely and unapologetically myself.